So the walk that you're going to take is part of the Sapporo round walk.
I teach a business English class, and I use a textbook for course structure and student reference. And the text includes like business scenarios that we listen to and then role play. If there's like 3 or 4 people in the group, they then need to talk about which product out of the 3 or 4 people that have been presenting their product, which product would be the best one to develop. But that role play is recorded again, and I use a rubric to evaluate the performance. And the rubric is multimodal, covers not only linguistic features but also physical, such as gesture and body language, and also social and emotional aspects such as active listening, responding and encouraging others to speak.
So you mentioned multimodality, and I see you provided the rubric here.
Yep.
I just sort of noticed that it has a tendency to align itself with neurotypical like behaviors and like ways of like, you know, thinking and acting.
Yeah.
And so I'm just wondering whether or not that might be detrimental to, say, people who are more so neurodivergent, maybe who have autism, and don't find it as easy to display, you know, attentiveness, active listening. I'm just wondering if there might be a way to address that kind of thing.
In some ways, I do want them to produce prototypical behaviour that's going to be acceptable in a workplace.
In a business
preparing them for that.
I write into my curricula nowadays, it's a note. If you have special learning needs, if you recognize as being on the neurodivergent spectrum, please talk to me beforehand.
Hi, my name's Johan, and part of my job in Hokkaido University is teaching English to first-year students. Sometimes when I give them like group work, more than often they would fall back to Japanese to start interacting, and then maybe choose one person within the group that has the best English and present it.
I think having like those useful phrases that you anticipate will be useful in that conversation that you're wanting them to have.
I would be really interested in like asking you, like when you did like video recordings of the performances, like did you encounter any, like for example, practical or like technical issues?
So I would use my smartphone for recording, and I put it on a selfie stick, which is a tripod, stick it in the classroom.
I teach English in like young adults in elementary and sometimes junior high school. So I'm just wondering, like this is for university level, but is there any way you can modify it to teach English to young learners in this like junior high school?
I think so. Yeah, I think you could do that.
Yeah, I'm playing around with role play as well in one of my batch classes.
Nice.
They need to talk to it, but they would.
Thinking about that. I think he's not sure how it's going to be.
Oh.
Today I'm going to talk about my interpreting course. Students are tasked with providing consecutive interpreting in pairs and in front of other classmates during guest presentation. This task requires students to prepare in advance by studying multimodal slides with minimal text, having many photos and keywords, and they do research background information. The main criteria are accuracy, clarity, and delivery. So many students express almost every year that this experience was meaningful and they learned how the real interpreting business goes.
How do you reflect together with students so that they can see what you see when you're assessing them?
the next week after the presentation, we watch the video together. But there are different pairs, so we don't spend time all the time together.
How do you encourage them to give peer feedback to each other?
In Japanese, they prioritize more harmony, so they don't point out you did a bad job, those things. So I try to encourage them to be honest.
Flag on the end.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, my name is Dale. I'm an assistant professor at Hokkaido University and I teach on a kind of special education program called TeToWaWo College. Every class, students are given usually between 10 and 15 minutes to write a personal self-reflection that basically only me and the student can see. So one of the biggest challenges, especially in a kind of academic culture like Japan, is that, you know, it's hierarchy based. The teacher is at the top in the classroom. So one of the first things I do after the first week's comment, the second week, I will find some comment, because there will be one, usually an international student, or I didn't get this, or I didn't understand this. And I will just put my hands up and go, sorry, I made a mistake, it's my fault. A lot of the feedback I get from students that graduated is that, yeah, the program was good, but more importantly, it wasn't like all my other classes. It was more social for them.
Sometimes I think that, like, by doing self-reflection, you reflect only on your part of work, but you can't share it with other teammates. So that I thought, like, maybe by doing a group reflection together with the teammates, it could somehow, improve the work in the future.
So essentially, this talk is about a course that I'm teaching. It's a course for undergraduate students, and it's called Traveling with the Moomin Family. In this subject, I'm using formative evaluations. So essentially, it's small assignments along the way. The idea is that the students get to summarize what's happening in the book, and then the following week, when we do the theory, they apply the theory on what happened in the book. And all these different ways of analyzing data can be useful in daily life. Because when we are bombarded with messages, they don't come just in one mode. They often come in several modes at the same time. So for students to actually be able to break these apart and learn, why do I feel like I feel when I see this message, is incredibly important. So this is where multiliteracies come in.
What's the actual outcome of this? Is it to understand the concept or to be able to produce something visual? Because if it's to understand the concept, shouldn't it be open to interpretation?
For non-artistic students, it definitely is a point. I do not grade down. I didn't take any ugly assignments here, but if they encapsulate the point, I do not grade them down for that. Well done. The presentations for the day, it was a nice combination. We started from very practical and lingual matters to then the applied and reflective matters towards the end. We're editing a book about this, and there's going to be also publication opportunities with the CATS series, Center for Advanced Tourism Studies. If you want to share just an extended abstract, that's going to be suitable for the series. And then if you want to develop it into a book chapter later on, we're gonna give all the details about that. So thank you all once again.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Creative.